Everybody wants to come back to look cinematic, like this amazing motion picture movie. Mine didn't. It looked boring. Sleep, cleaning, lifting, budgeting, showing up when nobody cared. These are the 5 boring habits that help rebuild my life when things fall apart. When your life gets hard, really hit hard, breakups, money pressure, becoming a full-time single dad, trying to hold a house together by yourself, trying to stay in shape, trying not to lose yourself, you start looking for the big answer, the breakthrough, the motivation, the perfect plan, the one thing that's going to make everything click again. But for me, that rebuild didn't start with this one big emotional moment. It started with boring stuff nobody claps for, stuff that don't look impressive online, stuff that really comes across as looking so simple, but you don't realize it's the only thing that's really keeping you together when everything is falling apart. Going to bed, cleaning up, doing some type of training, checking on your money, checking your bank account, just doing these little habits, one thing every day, doing a thing. That's what keep you going. That's what helps rebuild you. That's what rebuilt me. It didn't happen overnight. It's not perfect. It's slow. It's intentional. It's consistent. You're a man who feels like life has gotten heavy at all. I'm telling you, don't look for that comeback to happen like a movie. Try to find and lock in on the boring habits, those small wins, because that in that boring and those habits, that's when the rebuild really occurs. The first habit I suggest is going to bed. That's the one that helped rebuild me before anything else. Is just going to bed to get the rest. When you're down and out, you try to rebuild and you try to burn the candle on both ends. And inevitably, after a certain age, it's not feasible to continue that push. And another thing is that when life gets heavy, nighttime gets dangerous. It's dangerous in the way where maybe you start negotiating with your future. You start drinking, you start participating in activities possibly that are unhealthy, that are unproductive to the next day. Maybe you stay up late, you scrolling. It's not productive. Maybe you staying up late, you drinking. That's not productive. Maybe you decide to hang with the wrong people, whether it be men or women or whoever. It's not productive to the next day and overcoming and getting out of the hole. You tell yourself that you might need to decompress, but really you need to go to bed and get rest so you can lock in and have a fresh mind for the next day. For so long, I tried to wake up early and go to bed late. And while I thought I was getting more done, it just led to me having a poor or lesser quality product in the work that I was getting done. And I was drinking so much coffee, it felt like my heart was going to explode at times. Going to bed early is one of the first signs and one of the first ways you can recognize that you'll see yourself and getting better because you'll feel better. And it just resonates and carries over to so many things. Number two, you gotta clean your space. It's hard to be productive and to create or to be your best self, be the most efficient in a dirty space, whether it be your room, the kitchen, the bathroom, your car, a pile of stuff you just keep walking past. It's things like that that keep you late, to keep you disorganized, that keep you from feeling and living in your best self. When your physical space gets more and more chaotic, it just creates this noise in your brain that it might not seem like a lot, but creates more clutter in your brain, just like it is in this physical form. And so just taking the time, getting some spray, wiping some stuff down, organizing things, getting a couple storage containers, grouping things, just making sure you have systems in place so you don't lose things. It makes all the difference. It made all the difference for me. And I'm not saying this to say this cleaning is going to fix everything, but there's a certain level of discipline that you create and clean that will also impact the rest of your life. Cleaning resets the room. And if you're trying to reset your life, there's parallels. Cleaning is a sign of leadership. In the military and boot camp, they teach folks how to clean and they stress it so much, but it's because it sets a standard. And that's what you're trying to do in a rebuild. In this dark moment of your life when you're trying to get out of this hole, you got to set certain standards for yourself so that you can see the light out of this tunnel again. It doesn't have to be a perfect cleaning, but it's a message to yourself that you're starting something and you're working to a goal and it shows you this, you're going to get there. 3, train even when the workout is unimpressive. It doesn't have to be the PR workout that gets all the Instagram likes or It's not about that. It's about just consistently showing up for yourself. It may be 20 push-ups. It may be 10 burpees. That's all you may have time for. But just doing something every day is better than doing nothing consistently for days. There's no growth there. And the rebuild, creating patterns, creating habits is so important. Sometimes it's so easy to get down on yourself if you're somebody like myself or anybody who's worked out and you're used to achieving certain numbers or accomplishing certain workouts and having the time to do those things. And maybe you don't have that now. And maybe you think, I can't go, so I won't do it. And then you look at yourself months later and you're just a fat slob or you're out of shape and you could have paid what you had at the time. You could have gave something. In the rebuild, you got to give it your all. And your all one day might just be, again, 25 push-ups, 50 push-ups, 10 push-ups, whatever you have to give that day. But as long as you're doing something, you're paying that price to rebuild your life. It matters. Matters. The value in that doesn't necessarily come from the muscle, even how your body looks. It's just in the proof of showing yourself that you're not afraid to show up in that capacity. Like you finding a way to show up each day. The mental strength far outweighs the physical strength gains in this situation. Number four, check your money, check your bank account, especially if you're dealing with a financial hardship. Sometimes it's tough to see that number and not see it where it once was or where it used to be or where it should be. But you need to know a lot of times when you overextend or you even get into a situation of financial hardship, it's because you weren't as cognizant as you needed to be about what you had and what you were spending, what was going in and what was going out. When money gets messy, people tend to avoid the account. They want to avoid the bank. They want to avoid the problem, but you can't. You got to look it dead in his eyes and face it. Whatever it is, you have to face it. Knowing what the interests are, knowing what the charges are, knowing whatever it was that got you into the space, you have to know because that knowledge is literally power to fix it. So whether it be just a morning check or setting up alerts on your phone, that even when $1 is spent, that you get an update on your balance or your transactions made, it makes all the difference. Again, because rebuilding is about starting something new. It's about brick by brick, paying attention and just setting yourself up for success on a sound foundation in every area. The more you look at your money, the more you understand it and you be better prepared. If you're somebody who's an emotional spender, spending because you're lonely or spending because you're sad or buying food because you're sad, all of that goes out the door if you have a look at that real number. And then hopefully it'll motivate you to do what you need to do and lock in to make more so you can have that security, that stability for yourself, for your family, for whoever you love and you care about. Number five, find and do that one daily thing, that one daily habit that proves to yourself that you're not quitting, that you're not giving up, that you're not a hoe. It doesn't have to be 10 things, just one thing. Because I found that when life fell apart, my goal switched from trying to do all the things to just trying to do at least one thing to get that one win a day. Because those small wins add up and they compound. I know people here say this all the time, but it's really true. I think we as men, a lot of times we just want to fix every problem. And sometimes in the rebuilding state, maybe you don't have the capacity to. But as long as you're fixing something, doing one thing, getting that small win, I'm telling you, it makes a difference. There's some days when you may get 10, 20, numerous wins, but each day having some type of win will add up and compound exponentially. Rebuilding isn't about just looking better or making more money or just even finding love again or whatever it was that got you to this point. Rebuilding is so much about finding trust in yourself again. In whatever area it is that you may feel like you lost it or you felt that mental shift where you felt like you didn't have it. Once you trust yourself again, you move differently, you speak differently, you parent differently, you'll spend money differently, you train differently, you date differently. You're not the same. You're rebuilding better. That doesn't come from just wishing it's going to happen though. It comes from, again, daily stacking those habits, finding the thing, just continually to press on each day and not giving up on yourself. And the five boring habits that help rebuild me personally: going to bed, cleaning up my space, training, even if it wasn't the most magnificent workout ever. Number four, checking on my money, even when I didn't have any, just checking my bank accounts. And number five, just trying to do at least one thing a day to win. Just one thing a day. So I know this isn't flashy. This isn't the most motivational talk in the world. And maybe that doesn't go over well to some. Maybe that's what some people want to hear. But what I'm speaking about is the real, what I've really done, what I've really lived, what I've really been through. I think a lot of men sometimes when things don't go their way, you thought they was going to go. A lot of men get stuck there and they don't know what to do. They're waiting for this inspiring moment when sometimes you got to start the work right there on ground zero or in the basement, lower than ground zero. I think people think the comeback is sexy when you just get this job or you get this girl or you get this opportunity, when the real comeback is in doing the daily work every day that's going to change your mind so you don't end up in the same situation again, God willing.